Hey everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Music Reactions. We've got another request today. This one is from Wayne and Linnell, who are big fans of Cliff Richard and suggested that I check out the song Fireside Song from his television special Look Alive on October 21st, 1975. Now, the other day, I reacted to some Beatles songs, and just so you know, Cliff Richard is a big-time British singer and songwriter, and John Lennon from the Beatles once said of Cliff Richard and his band The Shadows, said before Cliff and his song Move It, there was nothing worth listening to in British music. So for those of you Beatles fans, John Lennon was a big fan of Cliff Richard. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is, oh, by the way, also, we reacted a while back to his song Yesterday, Today, and Forever. And in that song, he made a couple references, the pop culture references, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And Linnell, I think it was, that helped me figure out that one of those was to James Taylor and his song Fire and Rain. I have then, since then, figured out that Cliff actually wrote the lyrics in the song to Fire and Rain, unless it's a different song. But I looked it up on Google. I haven't listened to his version yet, because when I do, I want to react to it. So comment down below if you want me to react to that on here, and if I should check out Cliff's version and James's version both, or one or the other, or whatever. But anyway, I thought that was interesting that he gave a shout out to James Taylor and that song Fire and Rain, and it turns out that's a song that he wrote. But anyway, his song that we're reacting to today, Fireside Song, was originally recorded in 1974 for his album The 31st of February Street, but we're checking out the version today that Wayne and Linnell recommended, which is from the Look Alive show on ITV from October 21st, 1975. So without further ado, there's a link in the description to the original video, and also notice my hat here. I've got some merchandise available. If any of you guys are interested, check out the description. There's a link in there to where you can get merchandise as well. All right, let's check this out. Here we go. Cliff Richard, Fireside Song from Look Alive, 1975.
There's nothing more than the roar from the fire. Nowhere to go, I'm staying home is where I love.
I like how he's playing all over the neck of the guitar. He's playing on the upper part and then sliding all the way up and down. Typically, most performers today, they stay within those first 3 frets. But he's going all up and down. He's got that classic sound that makes the chords sound so rich, a lot like James Taylor and his playing style. So it doesn't surprise me that he wrote Fire and Rain, because that's exactly the guitar playing style that song encompasses, at least James Taylor's version. Okay, let's go ahead and get back into this. Beautiful voice. I'm used to hearing him singing his falsetto and really high. It's really a nice kind of change to hear him singing in his lower voice, his regular register. Let's go ahead and pick back up. Okay, so he's got a capo on the 3rd fret, but he's still playing all up and down the neck. Wow, he looks so young there. So pretty, that voice.
If someone phones, well, there's no need to disclose that my dream is just a scheme to feel by my side.
Now that's creative.
Forget the tide of yesterdays are gone since I met you. Nothing in sight but the light from the
That's like a B minor formation.
I'm staying home is where I love to be.
You strum with the pick the way I do.
Can do the things you do to make me feel secure.
And changed it up. It's almost like a different song.
You don't have to speak a word. They just get in the way, and just one look and shows that I feel you by my side. Forget the time.
See, he was picking, now he's strumming on the chorus.
Since I met you.
There, a little picking for the effect.
Nothing in sight but the light from the fire. Nowhere to go, I'm staying home is where I love to be.
Gorgeous. And that really cool looking set with those wild collars, that kind of pastel like 70s, late 60s and early 70s collars. Let me pull back and get a nice shot of the screen here where I can kind of describe it. But it's got a real, there we go. It's got kind of a floral pattern all around him. You got the yellows, the sky blue, the white, the red, of course, the black background. Everything's shaded in black. And you got the green. The yellow's the big one that really stands out. The yellow and the red. And then, of course, the blue and white streaks across it. Just a beautiful set. Really cool looking. And then him looking so young. Sitting there on a stool playing his guitar. Just like a classic. Like if you would go see your favorite ballad player in a coffee house sort of thing. It's that coffee house atmosphere. My band actually got to do that a couple years in Marietta, Ohio. But it's a college town, Marietta College, if you're not familiar with it. Big liberal arts college. And I actually had a scholarship to go there to study the arts, music and drawing and art and stuff like that. And I ended up getting a full scholarship instead at a different university to study computers. And I, as much as I love my music and the art and everything, I felt like there was the better prospects, job-wise, in studying computers, because back then they said everything, the future is computers. You want to get a solid job where you can count on and have a career. Study computers, and so I did that. But Marietta College, they had back in the late '90s, early 2000s, they had a couple coffee houses in town. My band actually got to play there a few times at both of them. And, of course, across the river in West Virginia, Parkersburg and Vienna, in that area, they had coffee houses too. Big college town, you're going to have that sort of atmosphere. But anyway, it's cool to see him playing in that atmosphere, sitting there, just like you would expect to see James Taylor playing. That sort of laid-back sort of feel. And just the soft, beautiful, melodic music, and the creativity on that guitar, where it's just the acoustic guitar and his single voice, and it's just so rich and so beautiful, and it really brings out his songwriting skills to be able to see him be able to do that. And as you listen to it, you really appreciate his talent. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out the lyrics on this. Let's see. Okay, feel the evening glow. Nowhere to go, I'm staying home is where I love to be. And there's nothing more than the roar from the fire. Nowhere to go, I'm staying home is where I love to be. Okay, so it's talking about the simple life, just wanting to stay at home. I guess it's sort of that sort of, kind of like I've been saying on a couple different reactions I've had recently, songs have kind of related to this, about the hustle and bustle of life and how everything just seems so crazy. And a while back I mentioned the Alabama song, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Actually, that wasn't on here, that was in church. I referenced about the busyness of life, and the song I'm in a hurry about Alabama really speaks that well. And it seems like this is that sort of same thing. He's out in life and it's just too much for him, overwhelming sometimes, and he just wants to go home and sit and relax by the fireplace with the person that he loves. If someone calls, you can say, I'm indisposed. And everybody needs a break every once in a while from your cell phones, from the technology, from the news, from the whole world and everything. And just turn off the ringer on your phone, set it on vibrate, or even just turn it off completely, or don't even take it with you. Just put it inside a cabinet, inside a drawer, and don't even check it for the whole weekend. And he's saying, if someone calls, you can say, I'm indisposed. I'm not here. I'm busy. Caught in the middle of a dream. And if someone phones, there is no need to disclose that my dream is just a scheme to feel you by my side. And so it's not just about being alone, it's being alone with the person that he loves. And in a marriage or in a relationship, you need to find quality time together. Not just quantity time, but actually quality time, and to get away from it all. You can spend every day together in the hustle and bustle of the world, the two of you, but, with your mind focused on everything else, there's no quality to that time, and it's going to drag you down. Sometimes you just need to get away from it all for yourself. From a pastoral standpoint, even preachers like myself need to get away sometimes, and that's why they give pastors sabbaticals and vacation time so they can get away from everything and kind of regroup, take time to pray and be alone with God. In fact, Jesus himself, after he performed the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000 with the loaves and fishes, and the mobs were just chasing after him and going wild, trying to, basically they were like paparazzi chasing him around, trying to get his autograph, so to speak. It wasn't literally an autograph back then, but I'm just using that as a metaphor. But they were basically chasing like paparazzi would chase a celebrity, and they wanted to see him perform more miracles and feed their stomachs. And he had to get away from it all. Before he came back to his disciples, he actually went off alone into the mountains and just him by himself, and spent time in prayer and fasting and praying to God, regrouping. And we all need that time alone. But in a relationship, you need that time not just alone by yourself, but also with your partner, the two of you, to get away and have quality time together. And that's what he's saying right here. I need that time just to get away with you, my love. And we'll just tell people that we're busy, and we won't tell them why we're busy and what we're doing. It's none of their business. Forget the tide of yesterdays are gone. Since I met you, nothing in sight but the light from the fire. Nowhere to go. I'm staying home. It's where I love to be. So curling up by the fireplace, just having a romantic night, just the two of them. And since I met you, there's nothing else that matters. It's just you and me. We're going to blot out the world and pretend like it doesn't exist, at least for now. After the weekend, we can go back to our regular lives, together, of course. But for now, it's just the two of us, nobody else. With you, because no one else can do the things you do to make me feel secure. You don't have to speak a word. They just get in the way. There's an Extreme song that was really popular. Extreme was a rock band that most of their stuff was really high energy and very rockish. But they had one song that was really laid back, just like this one. It was called More Than Words, and it was probably their best song, most popular song. And interesting story behind that, the record label didn't want them to do it because they thought it was too, it wasn't their sound. It was too mellow, and they said the radio would never play this. And it ended up being one of their most popular songs. But it's more than words. It's like the words just get in the way. You don't have to speak the words to tell me that you love me. Just show me. And that's what he said here. You don't have to speak a word. They just get in the way. And just one look and shows that I feel you by my side. Forget the tide of yesterdays are gone. Let's repeat in that chorus. Since I met you, nothing in sight but the light from the fire. Nowhere to go. I'm staying home is where I love to be. Beautiful song. I want to just listen back to a little bit of it because I was talking over it. And I just want to hear a little bit of that guitar playing and the singing that he did. So I'm going to play back just a little bit of it here. Turn the volume back up. I turned that down to fade out while I was doing my commentary. Okay, now that beginning right there reminds me of the Eagles. The beginning of this Hotel California, I think. How he kind of picks that out. The live version of Hotel California from the Hell Freezes Over tour. I love that album. If you ever get a chance to check it out, It's the ultimate Eagles album. This Hell Freezes Over tour. They do this live version of Hotel California, which is just so iconic. It's even better than the studio recording, in my opinion. But the way he starts that out reminds me of the way they started out on that recording. Let's listen to that again. Right there. That whole section right there just reminds me so much of how they started that out on the Hell Freezes Over version of Hotel California. Then he goes into the song. Playing with that index finger. And like I said, it's all strumming until he gets into the pause, the break in his voice. And then he picks just a few notes there. Goes back into the strumming. This is exactly the way I would play guitar when I was doing my acoustic stuff. Then the creativity's slowing down. He's got that D formation. I can see his hand there. Picking out that da-da-da-da-da-da. And that reminds me of something else too right there, this section. What's that remind me of? It's probably a song that he ended up writing for somebody else that ended up becoming popular. But there's this other song from the same era. It's got to be from the 70s that uses that. His voice sounds just like his. And it's the acoustic. And is it America? Does America have a song that goes like that? Da, 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 da. Is it Oz? Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man. Maybe that's Tin Man. The Tin Man song by America? Is that what it is? I don't know. Comment down below if you can think of a song that reminds you of. Anyway, beautiful song. Thank you once again for recommending it. Like I said, I've got some merchandise if anybody's available. Check out the link in the description. There's this hat I'm wearing, plus these other two hats. These are the different styles that I've got available, and they are yours free for your donation. Details in that link. And the hats that you get will not be these ones I'm wearing. They'll be brand new, never worn, never opened. And so, anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit the like button. Comment down below. Give me suggestions on music you'd like to see me react to. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And turn on notifications so you know whenever we add new content. Well, we'll be back on Wednesday. This is Monday morning, 10 a.m., and also on every Wednesday and every Friday at 10 a.m. we drop a new episode of the Lightside Music Reactions. We'll see you 3 days a week and occasionally a weekend as well, one of these other shows on this channel. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and God bless everybody. Bye.